So this is what we managed to do in the first stage of our drawing of the school in 2 point perspective. We're just going to add a little bit more detail now in this second stage. So what I'd like to do is add the windows to the side, and perhaps even to show some of the scaffolding on the building site on the right hand side. So the windows, if I just look closely here, what I want to do is just extend this line, again with a faint line. It's going to do it for you and dotted to this point here. So I know that this now sort of lines up, this corner is with the top of this line. And as I'm looking, I can then see that from that point, I can draw a faint construction line that goes to my vanishing point on the other side, like so. And I'm going to have my first window at the top here. It's actually not going to be the highest one, but second to highest. I'm going to start it about here. So we're going to draw another vertical line that's parallel exactly with the corner of the building. We're going to draw that as a faint line, like so. We don't need to draw it all the way down. Okay, so my first window is going to be up in that corner there, and I'm just going to make a judgment on how big I think it needs to be, so roughly to about there, and then I'm going to draw down towards that vanishing point. Again, I'm not going to go all the way down to the bottom, I don't really need to. And then I can firm up that line, so I've got that corner, and then I'm going to move my ruler across and have a parallel line on the other side of the window, like so. Okay, so that shows me where my first window is. Okay, and the windows have lots of panes in them, lots more detail, but we don't need to go into quite so much detail as that. I'm going to do my next window down, so I'm going to start that around there. And draw my construction line like so, and have the bottom point around there. Construction like so. It's really important that the width of the windows are all the same. So we can draw this vertical line here, and you can do it lightly, and then you can see wherever you've just made your window, you obviously firm up all those edges. So just go over those so you can see them. So quite happy with those. We've got another one now, so let's just make sure we've got roughly the same gap. I'm just judging it all by eye. I'm not worried about it being really, really precise. But you can always use a ruler, and you can use maths, and you can measure it all up. You can measure you count how many windows there are. You can divide the space up equally. I mean, you can be really precise with this type of drawing if you want to be. I'm going to make a dot here at where the bottom of this window is. And then I'm going to draw the bottom line in. And then I'm going to firm up that window like that. And then coming down a bit further, roughly there I'd say. We're going to draw that line. You see I've stopped bothering to draw the full construction lines into vanishing point. Don't really need to do that once you get the hang of it. And obviously now that I've explained it to you a number of times, hopefully you can follow and understand what I'm doing. Okay, but it's really important that if I were to carry on that line, it ends up at that dot. Otherwise they're going to be at the wrong angle. And then we firm up that line. So we've got a nice set there of 4 windows, which is great. And what we can do from there is we take this front line and we put our pencil on it and we line it up with the vanishing point, and then we can make construction lines that go all the way suppose this would be a good reason to draw your construction lines, because obviously you've got to do your other windows. So lesson learned, you could have done it the first time round, like so. And then you just need to now take your time and add in all of the windows. So there's going to be one, we've already done one column, we're going to do another 1, 2, 3, 4, and they get narrower and narrower and narrower as they get further away from you, because obviously perspective means that distances look smaller as you get further away. So the second windows aren't going to be quite as wide, they're just going to be a little bit narrower. So we'll draw them like that. We're going to do a faint construction line, like so, and then we're going to draw those in. And you're really simply just repeating this process until you've got all of your windows drawn in. Once you start doing it, it's fairly straightforward to repeat, as long as you understand that as the windows get further away, they get smaller, so they get thinner. Or they appear thinner. They don't actually get thinner, they're all the same size, it's just an illusion, of course. Okay, and we're going to do our next one. We're going to make the gap between them slightly narrower, and we're going to make the windows narrower than the last ones, like so. I'm going to draw those in. Done all the tops and bottoms, now I do all the sides. I find this just a slightly quicker way of doing it than doing one window all the way around and moving up to the next window all the way around, but if you prefer to do it like that, that's not a problem at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got another 3 to do, and as you can see, they're getting smaller and smaller each time. So this time we're going to make them narrower still, like so. And sometimes, once it gets really small, I just don't even use my ruler. I just draw in the tops and bottoms. And go again. Like so, and I think we just need to have one more set of windows in from what I've guessed. There we go. I can't see any more windows at the other end. I think that's potentially because there's a stairwell there. So I think that gap is right, though it does feel like you could get another set of windows in there. But that's fine. I think we're looking pretty good. Last thing we're going to do in this stage is we're just going to get, although you can't really see it in the printout here, we've got some scaffolding for each story of this building site. So we're going to put a little mark here, sort of roughly equal distances apart, and then we're going to just join those to the vanishing point. Again, not worrying about going all the way to the vanishing point, just making sure my ruler is definitely lined up on the edge. We don't want to make any mistakes with that, like so. So that's now starting to look a little bit more like the building site, and we can put these lines going straight across there, and school is now looking a lot more like a building.